Hello everyone, my name is Heidi, and along with my partner Amy, we are pleased to introduce to you our task for C3 called Ready, Set, Infect. This challenge is designed to introduce to you the functions of the immune system and how it works, and in this video we will be discussing some background information that may assist you in completing the challenges during challenge day. Let's get started. So from background information, so we're going to start off by discussing what the immune system is. The immune system protects the body from harmful substances by recognizing and responding to the substances to what are called antigens. Antigens, usually proteins, are found on infectious agents like certain foreign cells, viruses, fungi, or bacteria. To be immune means to be protected. The immune system is made up of a network of cells, tissues, and organs that all work together to protect the body. Pathogens usually enter our bodies through the mouth, the eyes, the nose, through open wounds, or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your face. Once inside the body, pathogens can spread through several different routes, and that is after they have breached the skin barrier, for example, if you're talking about an open wound. So how does our immune system stop infections? When the body senses foreign substances called antigens, the immune system works to recognize the antigens to get rid of them. As I mentioned in the previous slide, the immune system is made of a network of cells. B lymphocytes, a type of white blood cell, are triggered to make antibodies. Antibodies are Y-shaped proteins that neutralize foreign antigens by binding onto them. Ultimately, the antigens that the antibodies bind to are destroyed and removed from the body. The really cool thing about B lymphocytes is that after they have defeated the antigens, they never forget the invader's appearance. The B lymphocytes turn into memory cells, and the moment that the immune system detects the same antigen as before, the B cells, or the now newly called memory cells, spring into action to neutralize them again. These memory cells can survive in our bodies for a long time. Think about it like this. The B lymphocytes are like the intelligence system of the military. In this case, they are the intelligence system of the immune system. As mentioned before, B cells scout and find their targets and send their defenses, antibodies, to lock onto them. The targets are the antigens that we discussed earlier. Another type of immune cell is called the T lymphocyte or T cell. T cells are like the soldiers. They destroy the invaders or the antigens that the intelligence system, the B cells, finds. Without T cells, the antigens that the antibodies bind onto will not be destroyed. With that being said, there are two main types of T cells. There are killer T cells and there are helper T cells. They both differ in how they are activated, but ultimately both result in the antigen being destroyed. Killer T cells directly kill an infected cell. So for example, if a cell has been infected with a virus, so the virus has found its way to enter into the cell, the T cell's job is to destroy that specific cell that the virus, or in this case, the internalized pathogen, has infected. Helper T cells differ in the sense that they don't directly kill antigens or directly kill the cell, but rather they activate other immune cells that can do that job. So in this case, they can activate the killer T cells. They can also activate B cells to produce antibodies, which allows the immune system to know that there's a pathogen that needs to be destroyed. So as you can see, they're very important in our immune system and immune system function. So the next thing we're going to be discussing in this video is that we're going to be describing or defining what the term infectious agents mean. So what are infectious agents? So infectious agents is a term that is used to describe and encompass any material or organism that can cause an infection. Bacteria, viruses, prions, parasites, and fungus or fungi are all examples of infectious agents because upon infection, so once they breach the skin barrier or they enter through your nose, the mouth, or the eyes, they can cause infection and cause disease. It's important to note, though, that not all infections caused by these agents can cause disease alone. So sometimes when these infectious agents, such as the bacteria, the fungi, the viruses, they can cause the disease on their own, or they will cause complications within the body that will ultimately lead to disease. These infectious agents are the reason why we have an immune system. So our B cells and our T cells that we described previously, they all work really hard to eliminate these agents from the body to prevent those said complications. However, it also is important to note that not all infectious agents cause disease. For example, not all bacteria are bad for humans, but the ones that do cause disease are called pathogens. We have bacteria living in our gut that actually work with us to protect us on a daily basis. But for the ones that do cause disease, it's important to understand that they all differ in their pathogenicity, their potency, and mode of replication. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that they all differ in their ability to actually cause disease. That is what I mean by pathogenicity. Pathogenicity is a term that is used to describe the ability of an agent to cause disease. So for example, the way a virus causes a disease or their mode of action is different from the way a bacteria will cause a disease. So that's how you can pretty much differentiate between viruses, bacteria, and fungi is also through their pathogenicity. The noun potency describes the strength of something. So how strong an infectious agent is in causing disease contributes to its pathogenicity. So all of these terms that I've just described all describe the type of infectious agent that invades the body, and then we can classify them through these means. This slide is also included in the challenge video, and I also introduced some of these terms in the video. But to give you an example, let's take a closer look at fungi. Fungi are spore-forming organisms. Spores are the way fungi and some bacteria reproduce. Spores are single cells that grow and eventually turn into fungi. This characteristic of fungi adds to its overall pathogenicity. If the fungus can cause disease, the spores released can be very dangerous because when the spores are released into the air, they can enter the lungs and they can cause complications and ultimately disease. So fungus can actually range from bread mold to ringworms. So ringworms are found just on the lip. And those are actually caused by fungus. And again, they are also defined as yeasts or molds. They produce tiny spores in the air, and the infections mainly start in the lungs or on the skin. And then they reproduce by budding. So budding is the process to which spores are actually produced. So I don't want to divulge too much into this because all of this is going to be explained in the introduction video, as well as outlined in your participant packages for Challenge Day. So with that being said, there are many more types of infectious agents to be discussed, but for this challenge, you're only going to need to know these types. So as a content disclaimer, I just want to point out a few things. The task activities that are going to be outlined in the introduction video contain sensitive information that is very similar to the current pandemic that we are all experiencing right now. I want to say that these tasks are not meant to scare you or elicit any kind of negative thoughts or memories that are related to this topic, but to allow you to learn more about what is currently happening in our world and to bring some understanding to the current situation within the context of See-Through Challenge events. So we apologize in advance if this topic is hard for you, and we encourage you to talk to your parents, your teachers, your close friends, or your peers if you need any kind of support. As a final ending, I hope this video gave you a brief introduction to the immune system and what it entails. Another video introducing the challenge will be provided to you for you to review. We hope you have fun with this challenge. We really hope that you learn something. So good luck everyone, and have fun.